eliciting real emotion in this situation. Normally, Canelo is the same thing, but then this happened. Thanks live from T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, tomorrow night. Mark your on Canelo by Abel Sanchez.
Canelo being scared, right? And that's how a scared fighter reacts. But Canelo has not known to be a scared fighter throughout his career. But what it means is that in spite of everything Canelo and his camp are saying, that they're not going to give in to Abel Sanchez's mind games, in fact, Canelo is really ticked off. And that is unlike him. It's one thing if he frequently behaves that way, but he doesn't. He's a much calmer customer generally. And when you see someone behaving in a way that you haven't seen previously, you have to ask, what is different? Why are they out of their game plan? And psychologically before the fight, the answer seems to be yes. Will that extend to the fight? And that's a question we're all interested in.
And he was back to being calm when Max Kellerman visited him in the locker room, or the dressing room, I should say, earlier this evening and asked him about what happened at the weigh-in yesterday.
Canelo, when we spoke to you yesterday, you were as calm as could be in your room, ignoring all the insults from the other side, cool about it. 2 hours later, at the weigh-in, you're flipping out. What happened?
No, es ahí cuando los tengo enfrente, ¿no? No dije ni una sola palabra, solamente accioné. Creo que es una reacción de mi parte y es lo mismo que voy a hacer esta noche. Creo que siempre las palabras salen sobrando, los hechos hablan más que mis palabras.
It's just a matter of fact that I had him there in front of me. I didn't say a word, but I had to act. And as a matter of fact, words don't mean anything. When you make the effort, when you put the effort, your actions show what you mean. And so that's what happened tonight. Well, that's how I'll talk tonight.
That's what you were telling us yesterday. But then given the fact that you did behave that way, even though you're saying their words don't affect your game plan, you also told us you were training for a knockout from the beginning. How do you square those things? How do you...
Como lo dije, tengo estas ganas de noquearlo, este coraje hacia ellos. Lo voy a utilizar inteligentemente, pero por inercia está ahí el coraje, ¿no? Y se va a ver en la pelea. Y creo que estamos a unas horas de verlo.
As I said, I'm going to look for the knockout, and basically I have that anger within me, and I have that inertia of that anger, and we're just a few hours away from seeing it.
Isn't that dangerous against a dangerous puncher, an aggressive fighter like Triple G, who would like to lure you into that kind of fight?
Así es. El boxeo es de riesgos. Hay que tomar riesgos para tener una diferencia en la pelea, y es lo que voy a hacer. Voy a tomar riesgos para lograr lo que quiero.
Boxing is about taking risks and making a difference, and that's what makes a difference. And I'm going to take those risks because I want to obtain what I really want.
And that's why we can't wait for the opening bell. Thank you, champ.
And earlier we detailed the bio of Abel Sanchez, who trains Gennady Golovkin. So here is the bio of Canelo Alvarez's official trainer, Eddie Reynoso. It's actually Eddie Reynoso and his father, Checo Reynoso, who do the training, but Eddie is seen as the lead trainer. Son of co-trainer Jose Checo Reynoso has trained Canelo for his entire career, going back to when Canelo turned pro as a 15-year-old in Guadalajara. Also worked with Oscar Larios, another Mexican fighter, was a former amateur boxer himself, and currently trains Oscar Valdez, who is an outstanding boxer in the Los Angeles area. And we are here in the T-Mobile Arena, where a large crowd has been assembling for the last hour and a half or so. We did have earlier fights on the card, 3 undercard fights, which took place quite a while ago. And the reason that we have been filling for quite some time is because of the action that took place in those fights. So let's take a look back at them. The first one was the return of Chocolatito Gonzalez against a clearly, carefully chosen opponent named Moises Fuentes. Gonzalez was coming back after a long absence following his knockout loss to Srisaket Sorenvise in the second of their 2 fights last year. Roy Jones, how did Chocolatito look?
He looked pretty good, Joe, for his first fight back. It's been quite some time since we've seen him. Great overhand right there with great body composure in it, so it was a very good shot for him.
And that was a knockout win for Chocolatito, exactly what he needed emotionally and mentally, coming off 2 straight losses to Teresa Censoro. B-side, we still will remain to see whether Chocolatito Gonzalez can come and factor again at 115 pounds. Lemieux against Spike O'Sullivan, the 2 middleweights. Lemieux came into the ring with an unofficial 15-pound weight advantage. Max Kellerman, it showed.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you're already one of the biggest punchers pound for pound in the game against the guy who's right in front of you. It's another thing to come in 15 pounds heavier than the guy. It's not fair. David Lemieux, anything he hits has to go. The guy, one thing he can always do is punch. Every era has a puncher like Lemieux. Not always the greatest stand, maybe not the greatest skills fighter, but if he hits you, forget it.
He wants to fight the winner of Canelo versus Triple G. He's already had 1 fight against Golovkin, and with Golovkin jabbed him to death for 8 rounds before forcing a stoppage in Madison Square Garden. Then it was 21-year-old Jaime Munguia against a Canadian challenger named Brandon Cook. Munguia defending a 154-pound title. He's only 21, Roy. What a future.
Yeah, what a bright future this kid has. You know, a little bit more speed we can use out of him, but he's such a big puncher and such a massive guy for a junior middleweight. I mean, who comes in the ring at 175.5 after they weighed in at 154?
If we have weigh-in same day again, that's ridiculous. 20 plus pounds, 300.
Here's what we have. As of January 1, the Association of Boxing Commissions have agreed the same rule which now exists in California, which requires a weigh-in on Saturday morning, the day of the fight, and
you want to see welterweights, you want to see 147 pounders, middleweights 160 pounders. You're seeing junior middleweights supposed to be 1 to 175. It's absurd. But Jaime Munguia is a really interesting prospect, a very fun fighter to watch already at the age of 21, and the guy clearly who is being groomed so that hopefully one day he is one of the main attractions in a fight like we have in the main event tonight.
Roy Jones, both of the fighters in tonight's main event are well aware that the undercard ended an hour and a half ago, and that this crowd has been assembling, coming in, getting their refreshments, talking to each other, etc., and essentially waiting through a long build-up for the main event. So there's nothing going on in this arena while they're in their dressing room preparing. Does that affect the psychological atmosphere for Golovkin and Canelo as it narrows down to them?
Just may make them a little bit more anxious, Jim, because they know the people out here are waiting, they know the people are anxious. Now the people have to sit for a whole hour and 10 minutes to wait on them. So now they almost can't come in here and deliver. So it may hurt Canelo more than it hurts Triple G, because now Canelo may feel an urge to have to come out and give these people more than he expected to give them because of them having to wait for him.
All right, did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Did you have fun?
Oh, what are you kidding? Talking boxing, leading up to the best sporting event of 2018?
All right, we are ready now to turn our attention to the main event. Our undercard bouts are now complete. We're ready at last for the T-Mobile Arena's main event. The hugely anticipated rematch between 2 of the best in boxing today, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G Gennady Golovkin. There's been a year-long build-up to this second fight with a number of dramatic twists and turns. Now it's finally about to begin. But before Canelo and Golovkin enter, a word from our sponsors.
Es una familia de peleadores. Cuando nosotros tenemos una meta, la cumplimos. Para ser campeón se necesita disciplina, fuerza de voluntad, sacrificios, talento. Límites no existen en el boxeo.
I'm a reporter. I found something really bad. And I have been taken. What did you want from me? You will find out. Why would we do that? We cannot just hurt people. Whatever we want. Keep in his legs. Let him die. Man is lived and mind. This is the hard life for me. Giant leaps come at a cost. How are you? I'm Venom. Oh, I am a parasite. That is Jen. Next October 5th.
Mark your calendars for these upcoming shows from HBO. This coming Wednesday, look for the next installment of my show, The Fight Game. The next week, it's Real Sports. In October, it's the documentary Student Athlete, which examines how athletes generate billions of dollars for the universities, yet they themselves remain unpaid. Later that month, World Championship Boxing returns with Daniel Jacobs against Sergey Derevchenko. In December, the documentary Momentum Generation chronicles the captivating journey of surfing's most legendary crew. And coming in 2019, What's My Name? Muhammad Ali, a two-part documentary about one of the towering figures of the 20th century. Here's a closer look.
This will be no contest to prove I'm still the best.
Canelo vs GGG is being brought to you live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas by Tecate, the official beer of boxing.
Tecate!
Never stop, never settle. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tecate!
Every day. Red Lawyer Insurance. Friend in your corner. ¿Cómo quieres viajar? Fly your way to Mexico with Interjet Airlines. By the new movie Venom, starring Tom Hardy in theaters everywhere October 5. And by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment. Brought to you by HBO. September 16, 2017 was a night that epitomized everything great about boxing and everything which can be so frustrating about it too. It's not often two superstar fighters in the primes of their careers put their legacies on the line to face each other, but last year, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin did just that. And then the bout actually lived up to the hype. But much of the excitement was lost in the judges' questionable scoring and the subsequent verdict of a draw. And even with all that's happened to both boxers since that night, one thing appears certain, one way or another. Both Canelo and Triple G need closure tonight.
Everyone agrees. We have a potential accident on our hands.
Triple G is beginning to pull out the power. Canelo throwing and throwing, turning the fight around.
Just throwing knockout punches now.
Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez firing away now. Almost exactly 1 year ago, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin battled for 12 rounds, revealing nothing but fierce resolve and respect for one another. This is officially a draw. But after a controversial decision left the boxing world wanting more, the rematch was quickly scheduled for May 5. Then, everything changed. Canelo Alvarez tested positive for trace amounts of
Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin too.
Sabe que va a volver de la 15 de septiembre, no quiere buscar un pretexto.
Since the scorecard tour ran that night last September, the resembling respect between the two superstars has been shattered. So when Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin walk to the ring moments from now, they will carry what remains.
Quiero verle la cara, eso es seguro.
The real anger, the deep contempt, and the strong emotions that so often lead to legendary nights in the ring. Tonight, no amends will be made. No peace offerings to repair fractured relations. There will be only a search of a definitive conclusion. Canelo versus Triple G. The rematch is next. A quick sampling of some of the stars and celebrities on hand for this big fight. Rosie Perez, always here. Thomas Hearns, a reminder of the greatness of Detroit boxing in the 80s, and the late Emanuel Stewart. Omar Benson Miller, a big fan. Charles Barkley comes to almost something like this take place without his presence here. Dale Earnhardt Jr., profiled on Real Sports for his upcoming second career as a boxing or as a racing broadcaster. Will Smith, who of course once portrayed Muhammad Ali, and Dave Chappelle. Just like Charles Barkley. All right, now let's come back to our experts and get ready for tonight. Gentlemen, what most intrigues you about Canelo Golovkin today?
The first fight had almost everything. Fighters at their best, going at it with contrasting styles, and it produced the rare pay-per-view extravaganza that actually at least lived up to its hype. If not exceeded it, there was only one thing missing. The guys seem to like each other. Not anymore. This is a grudge match, and it brings up so many questions. Most importantly, does that mean that Triple G now throws caution to the wind and takes the kind of risks he didn't always take in the first fight, hitting Canelo to the ropes and keeping him there? And does that mean that Triple G is more likely to score his knockout, or that he's going to give Canelo the kind of counter-punching opportunities? There's risk involved, after all, to score the knockout himself. That's the biggest question coming into this fight, Jim. The grudge match. How is it going to affect the rematch?
All right, let's turn to our World Championship boxing expert, Roy Jones. Which of those questions might you want to answer, Roy?
I want to answer is that Triple G knows that right now he has to throw caution to the wind, get inside, stay close to Canelo, and try to get the knockout. Because if he don't do that, he may draw. The clock is running out on him. He's already 36. He can't afford to keep sitting out a year for a rematch because his clock is steady going bad. The timing is not good for him. He has to, like Max said, throw caution to the wind tonight and go for the knockout.
Maybe the most important number going into the fight. 36 years old, Triple G, as Roy suggests, pushing the envelope for boxing greatness. Let's take a look at some other numbers on the tail of the tape. And you see that age difference at the top. But remember, Canelo Alvarez is fighting his 53rd pro fight. It's the 40th for Golovkin. Alvarez's professional career actually began 6 months before that of Golovkin, who had 350 amateur fights. A 1.5-inch height advantage for Golovkin, which he sometimes gives away by leaning forward as he stalks the opposing fighter. An arm length advantage for Golovkin, a 1-inch measure from the armpit to the end of the fist, and that mostly shows up in his jackhammer jab. And they both weighed in under the 160-pound limit. Golovkin at 159.6 was on the scale first, Canelo at 159.4 moments after.
Nie wiem,
La Messi quiere pizza, ¿no? La Messi quiere pizza. ¿Con pizza?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. To make his way